There is a quiet shift that changes everything the moment you truly understand it. Love does not begin outside of you. It begins within you first. Most people spend their lives waiting for a message, waiting for reassurance, waiting for someone to finally choose them. They believe love is something that arrives from the outside and then changes how they feel inside. But the deeper truth is the opposite. The way you feel inside is what shapes the love you experience outside.
The moment you stop searching for proof and begin living from the feeling of already being deeply loved, reality starts rearranging itself around that new state. Something unseen begins moving beneath the surface. A new version of your life quietly starts forming. Because your inner world is not separate from your outer reality. It is the source of it. Every thought you repeatedly entertain, every inner conversation you replay, every feeling you return to, becomes an instruction impressed upon your consciousness. And consciousness always expresses the state you consistently occupy. If you continue feeling unwanted, uncertain, or abandoned, reality reflects those assumptions back to you. But when you begin feeling chosen, adored, valued, unloved, the reflection changes, not instantly perhaps, but inevitably. This is why acting as if someone already loves you deeply is not fantasy. It is alignment. It is stepping emotionally into the version of reality you desire before your senses can confirm it. Most people try to force love through effort. They chase attention, overanalyze behavior, replay conversations, and search endlessly for signs. But all of that comes from fear. And fear only reinforces separation. Love responds differently. Love flows toward the state that already feels fulfilled. When you truly assume you are loved, your energy changes naturally. You stop trying so hard. You stop panicking. You stop chasing reassurance. Something inside you settles. You begin thinking differently. Your inner conversations soften. Instead of imagining rejection, you imagine affection. Instead of expecting distance, you expect closeness. Instead of hoping, you start knowing. And knowing carries power, because it carries certainty. Imagine for a moment what it would feel like if the person you desire already loved you completely. Imagine them thinking about you throughout their day. Imagine them smiling when your name appears on their phone. Imagine them wanting to hear your voice, wanting to be close to you, wanting to choose you naturally and effortlessly. See them speaking to you with warmth. See them prioritizing you. See them opening their heart without hesitation. But more importantly, feel it. Feel the calmness of already being loved. Feel the security. Feel the peace, because the feeling is what changes everything. The outer world only mirrors the emotional state you repeatedly occupy within yourself. It reflects assumptions, not wishes. If you continue assuming someone is distant, confused, cold, or unavailable, that version continues appearing in your experience. But when you firmly decide that they are deeply in love with you, a new seed is planted within consciousness, and every seed eventually blooms. What you currently see does not matter nearly as much as the state you continue returning to internally. The outer world is delayed feedback. It reflects old assumptions. This means your present circumstances are not permanent truths. They are simply echoes of previous states you once accepted as real. The moment you begin living from a new state, your future starts reshaping itself around it. This is why inner work matters so deeply. You cannot consistently feel abandoned internally while expecting devotion externally. You cannot constantly rehearse fear and then expect security to appear. Reality mirrors identity. So if you want to experience deep love, you must first become the version of yourself who already feels deeply loved. Not later, not someday. Now. That version of you moves differently. They do not beg for attention. They do not panic over silence. They do not constantly question their worth. They feel secure because internally they already identify as someone worthy of love. And when that identity stabilizes within you, the outer world begins reflecting it automatically. This is not about controlling another person. It is about understanding consciousness itself. Every relationship in your life reflects the assumptions you hold about yourself and others. The version of someone you repeatedly entertain in your imagination is often the version that appears in your experience. So if you consistently imagine them loving you, valuing you, choosing you, missing you, caring for you, eventually reality begins aligning with that assumption. You are rewriting the script internally first, and reality always follows the dominant script impressed upon consciousness. But this process requires consistency, not force, not obsession, not desperation, gentle persistence. You return again and again to the feeling of already being loved until that feeling becomes natural. At first it may feel unfamiliar. Your old fears may still appear. Doubts may try to return. But doubt is simply the old state trying to survive. You do not need to fight it. You simply return. Return to the feeling of being chosen. Return to the feeling of closeness. Return to the inner knowing that love is already unfolding for you. Over time, this new emotional state begins becoming your normal way of being, and once something feels natural within you, life eventually reflects it externally. You start carrying yourself differently. You become calmer, softer, more grounded. You stop reacting from fear because fear no longer feels true to you. And people notice this shift even when they cannot explain it. Your energy changes. You become magnetic not because you are trying to attract love, but because you are no longer resisting it. This is where true transformation begins. You stop checking your phone constantly because inwardly the connection already feels alive. You stop obsessing over timing because internally you already feel secure. You stop searching for signs because the feeling inside you becomes enough. And strangely enough, that is often when reality begins moving most powerfully. Messages arrive unexpectedly. Conversations soften, affection increases, distance begins dissolving naturally, not because you forced anything into existence, but because your inner world changed first. This is the hidden power of assumption. The outer world responds to who you are being internally. If you continue embodying the state of someone who is deeply cherished, reality begins conforming to that state with remarkable accuracy. You no longer feel like someone waiting for love. You become someone who naturally experiences it. And that shift changes everything. Love starts feeling normal instead of rare, safe instead of painful, natural instead of uncertain. You begin understanding something deeper. Love was never truly outside of you. It was always first accepted within consciousness before appearing physically. The outer world simply mirrors the emotional reality, continues sustaining inside yourself. So stop waiting for someone else to finally convince you that you are worthy of love. Choose that state now. Feel loved now. Feel chosen now. Feel cherished now. Not because the outer world has already confirmed it, but because your inner state is what creates the confirmation. The version of you who already feels deeply loved is already within you. Step into that version fully. Speak to yourself kindly. Imagine loving conversations. Feel warmth instead of fear. Feel certainty instead of longing. And carry that quiet knowing with you through your day. Because the moment you stop chasing love and begin embodying it internally, reality begins reorganizing itself around your new assumption. One day, the love you once imagined will appear so naturally in your outer world that it will feel almost inevitable. And deep down, you will realize something powerful. You created that moment long before it ever appeared physically. So breathe, relax into the feeling of already being loved. Trust the unseen process unfolding beneath the surface. Because what you consistently feel within eventually becomes the reality you experience without. And the moment you truly understand that, everything begins to change.